Hello, everybody. This is Swati live from Los Angeles. I realize that it is 6:50 p.m., kind of odd time in Los Angeles for me to begin because I had said I was going to start at 7 p.m. Now, there is a little bit of a problem. Looks like the table that was sent to you, actually, the time 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. are supposed to be India Standard Time. So right now in India, for example, when it is 7 o'clock here, in India, it's going to be 7:30 in the morning. So when they are saying that 7 o'clock India time in the morning is going to be 6:30 p.m. here in Los Angeles, there's a 12 and a half hours difference. And because of that, some of you have noticed this discrepancy. In order to resolve this, at least for this session, I decided I'll start a little early, assuming that some people may already be there. If you are not already there, then you will join me at 7 o'clock. What I would like to do is, in next week, I would either like to fix the table or I would like to change my time. That way, your table and the time when the session starts will be at the same time. And now, one thing I want to suggest to you is please watch out for receiving a mail from Aloha Mindfulness Camp. I think some of you may not receive it in your primary email, maybe because it's going in your other social or promotion folders, or maybe it's going in spam. So please check, because you all should be receiving an email from Aloha Mindfulness Camp. It will tell you exactly how we are resolving this issue, as well as what we did today and what we are going to do tomorrow. So in order to know where you are going in general, in terms of logistics, watch out for the email from us, Aloha Mindfulness Camp. Now, I am going to do one more thing. You guys have precisely registered for this camp. Most of you have already done the 6-week long camp, and now you have continued with me. So you guys are special people. So what I would like to do is, in a week or so, I'm going to close this group. I'm going to see who are the regular people, and I know the people who come live as well as the people who watch the recorded session. For most of you I actually have correspondence with you. So I'm going to try to send personal emails so we become a group. What I would like to achieve in these continuing set of sessions is to create a community. I understand that all you can do is type your questions, but you know in your heart you are meditating with others. That's one way we are creating a community. Other ways, in the question and answer or chatting, you will actually get to know each other a little bit. If you want to do anything more, if you want to convey any message to anyone else, please email me and I can do that. I can connect the two of you if you two are willing. You can always email me with any question, any doubt, or any comment. Of course, good, bad, ugly, suggestion, everything. To meditate together at gmail.com. For those who may not remember, it's to meditate together at gmail.com. Now, I'm not sure if some of you guys are already live or if you are entering in. So at this point, what I'm going to do is I am going to allow you to tell me here by writing a comment. Tell me if you are live already, some of you, and that way I will know, and I will start my real talk at 7 p.m. Meanwhile, we have just 5 more minutes left. So in these 5 minutes, I'm going to just sit here and meditate. Either you meditate with me or in addition, please write a comment so I know you guys are here. So I'm going to start meditating. Just a simple breath awareness meditation. After writing a comment, if you want to meditate with me at this point, just do a simple breath awareness meditation. It is 7 o'clock. Some of you may have joined right now. I started at 6:50 just because of the discrepancy between the table you received, which basically says that I should be starting at 6:30, but I had planned to start at 7, so I started a little bit early. So those of you who are joining right now, we are starting our day 1 of our 3-month long, once a week, Thursday, meditation live sessions. I'm really excited because I know some of you have been so dedicated in the 6-week long mindfulness camp, and I assume or expect you to be just as dedicated in joining me on Thursdays. So I'm really excited that we are able to do this. And before we actually do this, I am going to talk about the state of mindfulness. Now, what is state of mindfulness? I find that when we think about mindfulness, there are two camps, which are two opposite ends of the spectrum. One camp, I call it really serious camp or serious camp. And the other camp, I call booster camp. Now, both of them are very, very well intentioned, very well respected people. But one is a serious camp, as in, they basically are people who are trained into Buddhism for over a long period of time. They have practiced mindfulness in a very traditional, rigorous way over a much longer period of time than this new scientific evidence that is coming out. They have had experience with the whole non-attachment philosophy of mindfulness in a much more stricter and rigorous way. To them, that is the main thing that they do. They don't have a goal in why they are practicing or what they want to get out of the practice. They don't do it that way. Their quest may be either spiritual or there is no quest. Booster camp, on the other hand, are the people who know about the scientific evidence that has been recently coming out, such as stress reduction, focus and concentration, better attention, improved relationships. And these days, in some sense, mindfulness has become a buzzword. So people have started using it in relationships as well as parenting and eating disorders and insomnia and chronic pain and all kinds of different things. Even, in fact, even we had focused on some of these issues in a 6-week mindfulness camp. There has been scientific evidence about these things. So these well-intentioned people, they use it because they know about, okay, I want to use it for this purpose. I have this goal. Sometimes the problem with the booster camp is they expect results right away. They expect specific results. They sometimes expect that every time I meditate, I should experience calmness, stress reduction, and feel good. Their quest may be happiness, but it's not so much a long-term, patient, wise. The wisdom is not there necessarily, and that's a little bit of a problem with the booster camp. Now, where do I stand? I stand somewhere in the middle. I propose a middle way. Many of you may have guessed that I am more towards the serious camp, but I'm practicing middle way because we are householders. We have our own lives. We need to sometimes multitask. Not only that, we have a lot more constraints in how long we can practice, how much we can practice. And because we live in this world as a householders, we also have some purpose. We have some goals. We have, some of us, we have families, or we have people who may depend on us, or we are depending on somebody. All these kinds of things are happening around us. Our task, in some sense, is much harder. So because I practice this middle way, there is the scientific evidence and some of the goals and purposes from the booster camps we will practice, but we also want to take advantage of this whole 2500 years of wisdom. And the way we want to use the wisdom, the way I propose using this wisdom, is to actually go more towards our quest. I have said this before. We all have a quest. Some of us may have spiritual quests, but a lot of times our quest is short term as well as long term. We may have quests such as, I want to become more happy, or I want to get better sense of well-being or peace and harmony. There may be these kinds of long-term goals, but we also may have career goals. We may have goals such as some work-related things, or we are working on a project and we want to successfully complete this project. There may be fears and anxieties that we want to let go of. We may want to have better relationships with our family or friends. So these are goals too. Some of us may even have material goals. I personally do not want to pass any judgment. My goal is not to make judgments on this goal is not good, or this is not going to work, or this is realistic, this is not realistic. I want all of you to think about what is your quest. I hope it is something that gives you meaning and purpose. The problem with materialistic goals sometimes is it's hard to find meaning, real meaning and purpose sometimes, but more importantly, once you get it, there is something else. It's never really perfect, and in that sense it's a little hard to find long-term sense of well-being by using material goals. But if that's what you want, then I'm not the one to judge it. So today I would like all of us to start with finding what our quest is. What is it that gives us meaning and purpose, short term as well as long term? I suggest that once you know what it is, you can email it to me just to have a little bit of like a recording. I am not going to tell you judgments. I'm not going to direct you specifically do this, do that. But I am hoping you all will find your own answers and your own way of moving more towards your goal or your quest by attending these mindfulness sessions. So I'm going to be your teacher in this sense. I would like you guys to be your own life coach, your own therapist in some sense. I am just going to be a teacher and a guide. So with that now, let's get to our meditation. Today's meditation is basically going to be look for your quest. So are you ready? Okay, so this is what we are going to do at this point. When we start meditating, I would like you to have attention towards your goal or your quest, what comes to you as your quest, what it makes you feel. And also, does it feel right to you? Now, before I do that, I forgot to do one thing. When it comes to the serious camp and the booster camp, in last couple of years, the serious people, although they are delighted to see the popularity of mindfulness, they also have raised certain questions. And if some of you are interested in knowing what it is, there is one article or blog that was published in Huffington Post almost 2 years ago called Muck Mindfulness. Muck Mindfulness. Like McDonald's, it says that in some sense, mindfulness has become all encompassing, anything, everything people want to do. And so that's what it is about. I am going to try to show this to you after I get rid of this. Okay, let me share it with you if you, for those who are interested. Oh, well, didn't get it right. Okay, this is what it is. Okay, I'm sorry, I don't think this should work. Wow, I'm not sure why this is happening. Let me get it correct this time around. Okay, now come on. All right, it worked this time. You see, Beyond Mindfulness, HuffPost Religion, and it was published in 2013 by Ron Purser and David Loy. Now, if you just Google Beyond Mindfulness and Huffington Post, you should be able to get it. It is an interesting read and some of you will enjoy it. Okay, now with this, we are going to go to our meditation. Now, I also want to, this morning I showed people my gong, this beautiful gong I have. And this is, I believe, from Nepal. because I want to show you there is the Hindu elephant god inside this god. And by the way, today is the day when in India people celebrate festival of this particular god. So anywhere from 1 day to 10 days, people worship this elephant god. And the reason I'm saying it is because this god is supposed to symbolize removal of obstacles. So if there is anything that is coming in your way, whenever you're starting a new thing and something is coming in your way, this god is supposed to get rid of it. And I look at gods, Hindu gods, as symbols. They're like Greek gods. There are stories behind it. They live in our mind, and we pray to them to actually invoke that energy in our mind. In that sense, today is day one of our mindfulness journey towards our quest. And so I'm glad that we are starting it on the day when it's very appropriate to have the elephant god in our mind. So close your eyes and relax your shoulders. Breath in and breath out. Take a few deep breaths. And pay attention to your breath for a short time. And now allow your attention to hover around the idea of what is my quest, long term and short term. What is it that I find my meaning and purpose, and something that I would like to have in my life, some goal that feels right to me, a short term and a long term. Bring your attention back to your quest. And if you already know what it is, say it in your mind what it is, the short term and long term. And then see how it feels like. Does it feel right? Do you have the right type of feeling about it? When I say right type of feeling, what I mean is, do you have any fear or anxiety about it? Or do you have any doubt about it? Do you have any question mark about it? You're not sure, uncertainty. And if that's the way it is, notice that. That's the way it is at this point. For some of you, it just may feel right. You know that's what you want. And if so, just pay attention to how it feels like. even when it feels right, you still may have some thoughts and feelings coming to you. Just notice those things. Bring your attention back to your thoughts and feelings about your quest. Allow yourself to deeply feel whatever it is, but observe it. Allow it to go deep, but observe it. Observing includes from time to time. If you have a feeling, say it in your mind what the feeling is. If it's a thought, say it in your mind. That's one way to learn to observe. But at the same time, it's going deep, whatever your quest is. Bring your attention back and watch your feelings and thoughts. In a way, you are keeping your awareness open, not completely open because you are thinking about your quest, but open as in you're allowing images, thoughts, and feelings to come to you around this idea of what your goal is, what your quest is in life. And you're watching what's coming to you. You're noticing what's coming to you. Bring your attention back. If your mind is wandering around, bring it back to your awareness. And if there are any images that are coming to you, they'll make it clear what you see, what you visualize around your goal. Sometimes it helps to make it even more clear, more vivid, to have images if they are coming to you. And you are just gently and softly allowing yourself to just know what your quest is. There is nothing more and nothing less at this point. You're just knowing what is it that you would like. And now go back to your breath and notice your breath again. And say this line 3 times in your own mind. Breathe in, I smile. Breathe out, I'm okay. Breathe in, I smile. Breathe out, I'm okay. Breathe in, I smile. Breathe out, I'm okay. So one more time. If you want, you can write an email to me and tell me what your quest is. I'm going to be collecting all the emails because then what we would like to do is where you go with it in next 3 months. More importantly, these 3 months I'm going to use to teach you how to go about it. And then after that, you should be able to be, as I said, your own life coach or your own therapist to a large degree. Maybe not completely, but to a large degree. And so, for that purpose, today's job is just to know what your quest is. To meditate together at gmail.com. Or if you wish, write it down for yourself somewhere. Write it in a journal. Somewhere make a record of it. And then we will see if it changes, stays the same, your feelings about it change, how law of impermanence may or may not work in this particular case, how it will work, and how you move more towards your quest. And so, with that, now I'm going to say bye to you, and I'll see you all next Thursday. And before that, watch out for the email from Aloha Mindfulness Camp. Bye.